Good evening. Tonight,
Hello.
I'm very happy to welcome on YouTube Meeting Venus Victoria Guthrie. That's okay. That's
Guthrie.
Guthrie. Okay. Of course, she's an actress and athlete, and she does a lot of things I've seen in her filmography. But basically, she's been into sports, then ventured into acting and fashion, right?
Yes, yes. So a little bit of a different order, but yes, all of the above.
Yes, great, Victoria. Thank you very much for joining the live. First, I want to ask you. Uh, I think your first interest was sport, correct?
Well, actually, my first interest was fashion and fashion design, which started when I was very young, and I came to New York City when I was 18 years old, and I studied fashion design, and that was my first interest, which ended up recruiting me into modeling, and I ended up traveling overseas and spending a lot of time living out of a suitcase and modeling. From there, I kind of felt my brain getting mushy from just having being photographed, and I mean, I guess the best models they do put some thoughts into it, but I started to explore acting after that, and sports came along actually last. Um, and it was kind of a good fit for me because I I enjoy being on stage, and so the type of competitive sports that I do, which is I'm a bikini athlete, I was able to compete on stage and also combine my interests of health and fitness and performance all into one.
But you remember how many years you've been across Europe doing modeling? I think you did still photography, magazines cover, correct?
Yes, yeah, I did it for a long time.
Long time. But I think from being a model for fashion, then you do another type of modeling. I mean, athlete or bikini modeling. I think you first you made the decision of changing the shape of your body. Correct? This is not something that not every woman would like to do, to be like a fashion model, and there are certain ingredients and measurement for the body and everything to be appear on big magazine like Cosmopolitan, Elle, the stuff I know, and we know, worldwide. Then yeah, I think you move to another type of practice, and you made the decision to change your body, right?
Well, it didn't really. I mean, I guess it did change to a more toned physique. Um, but the type of my natural body is the smallest musculature, so I just became very defined. Um, not as soft, but but because I just don't really have I don't have the natural bone structure to become like a big girl. In terms
Yes.
of acting, it doesn't really hinder me at all, because a lot of people, they really wouldn't notice, and a lot of them would be pretty surprised when they look at some of my websites and stuff, and they see, wow, that girl's like, she's really ripped. A lot of people don't really see it at all. If I'm just wearing regular clothing, they can't tell at all, because I'm still very I'm actually I'm actually the same size as I was. I'm just more compact and more harder and more toned.
Great. But tell me, did you have some personal trainer
Yes.
before getting professional?
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about what kind of diet did you follow at that time?
Well, diet is very specific. There's really three main aspects to that sort of training and lifestyle. Which one is the top one is sleep. You have to have quality sleep. Your body has to really be able to recover, and it's very important to have quality sleep. If you don't have that, you won't have the strength to perform the training, and you won't have the ability to recover. So that's like the most
Mm-hmm.
important thing. And then with the
Mm-hmm.
diet, I already kind of had a strict diet when I started, because I
Mm-hmm.
was just I was having some different digestive, you know, I have a very sensitive system, so digestively I was searching for different ways, things that would work well for me. And that was part of how I ended up falling into it, because I ended up watching a lot of blogs of other people who were professional bikini athletes, and I said, wow, maybe I could do that, because it seems like I eat just like them, and I like being on stage and I like exercising. So that's kind of how it happened. But the diet itself, it's a very clean diet, and it depends on the individual. For me, my diet is a very carb heavy diet. I have a very lean physique, and so I have to eat a lot of carbs, a lot of carbohydrates to keep mass on my body. So I'm eating a lot of oatmeal and potatoes and quinoa, rice, things like this, in addition to a lot of protein. Um, those are the main things, and it's very specific. I mean, I have, very specific macro numbers that I hit, and I record them. I know a lot of them by heart, and I weigh everything that I eat. So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of, it's very 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 structured, and very different from the acting side, which is very spiritual and intuitive. So for me, it's a nice balance having the two together. It gives me some structure, and then my other side is more playful.
Yes, I've seen Victoria that you've been in a lot of films, short films, features. But let before I ask you about venturing into acting, did you happen to be called by Hollywood or film production, to train other actors or actresses in films in preparation for
No,
films?
I really haven't. I've been
Mm-hmm.
um I spend so much time auditioning for the projects that I do,
Mm-hmm.
that I really haven't had a desire or the time. I know it can
Mm-hmm.
be very rewarding to teach other people, but I don't really have the time to do it. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I just focus on doing my own work, and that keeps me plenty busy.
Yes, because there are a lot of actors I remember seeing. Yeah, of course, and actors, but if we say women, I remember between the first Terminator and the second Terminator, you can see that, for instance, Linda Hamilton, I completely changed her body. If
Ah,
you have seen
yes.
both films, otherwise, I've seen other, of course, actresses who used to practice sports like you before venturing into acting. Some of them, of course, were models in swimsuits. Some of them they do some kind of wrestling, and this, of course, reflects on the characters they play. But when you entered the acting business, did you have in mind playing like a woman with athlete background, or you wanted like
Well,
to
I would
then you
love to do
yeah.
that. That would really be a dream for me, to do something in a big budget type project, or a television
Mhm,
show that had some real athletic capabilities to it. I would
mhm,
love that.
mhm,
So that's on my wish list. Um, I did do one short film which had a lot of physical work with it, and that was a lot of fun. It was an independent short film. So, but yeah, definitely would like to get some action hero stuff in there. That would be a dream come true.
Yes, but right now, if you like to give an advice to young women or young men, of course, who would like to follow a certain type of sports, either bodybuilding or modeling, what is your advice? What is the best age? And should they go so only in the gym, or they should, be trained by a professional, which will be, I think, very good for for their body and their health. What do you think? What is your advice?
Well, I think it's very important to understand that every sport requires different types of training. So
Hmm.
that's the first thing, is to find a coach, or if you don't have the budget for it right away, is to investigate the types of training that you'll need, because the type of training that I do would be very different than what somebody who's a swimmer or who's even a basketball player, who requires jumping and sprinting and very different movements from what I do. So that would be the first thing. And then um, it's also possible that a young athlete can seek out a sponsor if they have a lot of natural ability. They may be able to find someone to back them, and that way it doesn't really cost them um, much, and that way they can get the training and they can get all the advice that they need, and have a sponsor to pay for their entries and all of that. But you would have to have a certain amount of natural ability, and to charm people into doing that, but it certainly can be done.
Mm, very good. But tell me, Vic, right now, do you have any projects that you shot but was not released? I've seen latest thing that you have in your filmography is the television series Chronicles of. Do you have
Yes, as a matter of
other
fact,
stuff you have shot? Yeah, please.
yeah, Chronicles of, we just had the world premiere
Uh-huh.
here in New York City less than a week ago on Friday. So that's a whole series. So there's more to come on that. They have 8 episodes finished, and they're shopping that. So we'll see. It may go to some more festivals, or it may end up online. I'll have to keep you in the loop with that. And then I have a project in pre-production, which I'm teaming up with a director who I shot a project a long time ago called Not Another Heist, and we're doing a project together. So that's going to be a lot of fun, because I think we did that in 2012. So this
Hmm.
new one is, it's really collaborating, and it's a lot of fun to go back with someone who you have a rapport with from so long ago. And that one I'm
Hmm.
also a co-producer on. So that'll be a new experience for me, because I'm also involved artistically in the editing, and creatively in the writing, in terms of ideas, expanding things, or no, I really like to see it go in this direction. So that's my we're supposed to shoot that in November, so right around the
Yes,
corner.
hopefully. Yes, it's coming soon. Yes, it's next
Yeah,
month.
very soon.
But before I end the this wonderful interview, I see you have been travel a lot. Tell me, I'm Egyptian, but I live here in Ecuador in Latin America. My wife is Colombian. Tell me, did you have the chance of visiting the Middle East
I
or
did.
Latin
I was
America?
both, both
Hmm.
actually,
Hmm.
both, and I loved both. As a matter of fact, my trip to Egypt, I would say, I think it was my favorite trip that I ever
Hmm.
took.
Hmm.
Um, I came back from Egypt 2 weeks before they had all the riots that started there. So I felt,
2011.
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
I felt so blessed that I was able to go there and see that amazing country, because then, you know, for a while they didn't really want, I'm not even sure, I guess they don't want people traveling anywhere nowadays, but
Yes.
it was just like going to a history lesson every day. I mean,
Yes.
it was so amazing, the culture and the history and the monuments, and even just how the current scientists and archaeologists, how they deal with things. And you know, it's just mind-boggling. It's completely overwhelming because it's
Hmm.
so huge and so awesome. And South America, I loved very much as well. I was in Quito and in the Galapagos
Really, here,
Islands.
very nice.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. You know, talking to you, my background is also working in film festivals, and I hope to organize a film festival, not only with women, but also if we can do like a film festival with about sport films, it will be very nice, and to have you among us.
Oh, thank you. I would really enjoy that. I would enjoy to.
Mm,
I've been
yes.
looking forward to come back to Egypt at some point. I like to see Alexandria, which I have not been to
Yes, yes, my
yet.
father city. Right now, if you go to Egypt, there are new museums been opening up because since the museum in Tahrir, it was the oldest museum, but of course, since its opening, there were a lot of discoveries, mummies and art crafts, in the south, in Aswan, in Luxor, and we had a museum being opened 6 months ago, you know, and we have another one. It will be next to the pyramids, and it will have a lot of new mummies and a lot of art crafts that were discovered, in the last couple of years. And also there was a big celebration transferring the mummies from the old museum to the new museum. It was all around. You can see the celebration on YouTube. It was live everywhere.
Mm.
So yeah. We hope to see you in Egypt and in Quito, here in Ecuador another time. And of course, I look forward for your next projects.
Thank you. I'll let you know. I'll keep you in the loop
Don't don't don't
when
forget
it's available
about
to meet
inviting
them.
us. Yes, yes, to the red carpet if you have an
Yes.
opening. Yes, and thank you very much for joining the live. We will be sending the link of the interview on our weekly newsletter. And any comments I will be sending to you, and we'll be happy to talk to you again, either live or from a location of a new project as well.
That sounds terrific. Okay, thank you so
Great,
much again
Victor.
for having me.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure having you, and I wish you all the best in the upcoming period and next year, of course.
You as well.
Yeah, have a good evening. Thank you
Okay,
very
bye bye.
much.
Thank you.
Ciao. Bye bye. Bye.
Bye.